Hello, my name is Franklin. I've been hired to solve mysteries. This is my channel. Today we are doing an episode called Variation 5. Our first mystery today is going to take us up into outer space. And in this particular case, we are going to be asking the question, did aliens try to contact us? See, in 1977, an Ohio State University radio telescope known as the Big Ear was searching the skies for pulsars, which are neutron stars that rotate and emit radiation. Pulsars were discovered in 1967, and they were named pulsars because their signals pulsed like a lighthouse. Well, on August 15, 1977, Big Ear picked up a powerful 30 seconds radio wave signal that lasted 72 seconds. The signal came from a point just behind the constellation of Sagittarius the Archer. Whoever or whatever had sent the signal was 2,600 light-years away, and while it only lasted for 72 seconds, it was 30 times more powerful than any radio signal ever created by man. The astronomer who found the signal wrote the letters "Wow" on his paper next to the data and circled it 7 times. What made the signal so unusual was its narrow bandwidth. See, in order for humans to communicate over vast distances, we need to send signals with a lot of bandwidth, meaning we need to transmit them with a wide range of frequencies. Narrow bandwidth signals aren't strong enough to travel interstellar distances. So why would an alien civilization bother sending such a weak signal? Could it have been beamed at us accidentally, or perhaps deliberately, to see if we'd respond? To this day, the signal remains unexplained. Scientists have searched for it on several occasions, but it has never repeated itself. We don't know if it even came from an intelligent species, let alone if it was aliens trying to make contact with us. Some believe that the signal really was extraterrestrial in origin, but it was lost to static in the vastness of space. Others believe that it was interference from human sources, but there is evidence to refute that claim. On the night the signal was recorded, the radio telescope was being shielded from human interference by a 30-foot-tall, 80-ton steel tower. It was also shielded by a groove in the ground around it filled with 500 tons of concrete. Plus, it would not have been physically possible for anyone to get close to the radio telescope on the night in question. According to Jerry Ehman, the astronomer who discovered the signal, the observatory where the telescope was housed was locked up tight. The security guard didn't have a key to the building and no one was inside. And speaking of security, if you haven't already done so, please take a moment to press that subscribe button down below. As you can see, some people have even taken the time to hide their face while doing it. So if they can do it, so can you. Once you've done that, you may also want to check out our new channel, where we explore the strange world of cryptozoology. We discuss everything from Bigfoot to the Loch Ness Monster. New episodes premiere every week, so please click the link in the description and subscribe. Now, back to our amazing unsolved mystery. Another piece of evidence that refutes the possibility of human interference is that the Big Ear radio telescope was later retrained on the exact same part of the sky, and the signal was never detected again. However, we should mention that the telescope had a blind spot directly overhead, so it was unable to scan the sky in all directions. It's possible that whoever or whatever sent the signal did so from a different angle. Even so, scientists still haven't been able to replicate the original signal for over 45 years. Perhaps most intriguing about the signal is that it contained exactly the right amount of energy to be detected by the Big Ear radio telescope. In fact, it was within 1% of the theoretical minimum amount of energy needed to produce an observable signal. This suggests that whoever or whatever sent the signal knew exactly what they were doing. They sent a deliberate message to our world, a message that we might not have been able to detect with any other radio telescope. Some people believe that it wasn't meant for us at all, but rather it was beamed at some other target that we aren't aware of. If that's the case, it might have been a very unfortunate coincidence that it was picked up by our radio telescope. But this theory doesn't explain why the signal disappeared after it reached Earth. After all, it would have continued to travel towards its intended target. Maybe we really are alone in the universe. And in that case, maybe the signal wasn't meant for anyone. Maybe it was just a once-in-a-thousand-year natural phenomenon that occurred by pure chance and will never repeat itself. So here's our question for you. Do you think it was aliens? Please comment yes or no to let us know your thoughts. And while you're down there, please make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss next week's episode. Our next mystery takes us to the town of Bird Rock in San Diego, California. The year was 1947, and Kenneth Arnold was flying his plane above Mount Laguna when he spotted 9 shiny objects flying in close formation like geese. Estimated that each object was between 50 and 60 feet long, and that they were traveling at incredible speeds. Arnold reported the incident to the local newspaper, and the story spread like wildfire. Within days, newspapers across the country were reporting that an alien flying saucer had been sighted over Mount Laguna. But where did the story come from? Is Kenneth Arnold actually telling the truth, or was he lying through his teeth? First off, we should mention that Arnold wasn't a lunatic. He was a successful businessman, World War II pilot, and member of the Experimental Aircraft Association. When he told the local newspaper about his sighting, he was hoping to join with other witnesses to investigate. It turned out that he was the first witness. As far as anyone can tell, Arnold really did see something strange. In fact, he was so adamant about it that he took 2 more flights to try to locate the mysterious objects. But what he saw during those flights didn't match his initial report. That has led some to believe that he was making the whole thing up for attention. But others have pointed out that Arnold was the type of person who would do such a thing. In fact, he became so convinced that aliens were visiting Earth that he helped establish the National Investigations Committee on Aerial Phenomena, which would later be renamed the Center for UFO Studies. So could Arnold have been mistaken? Perhaps he saw a mirage, or perhaps a cloud formation that appeared unnatural because of the way the light reflected off of it. But if that was the case, why didn't he see anything similar during his subsequent flights? Or could there have been other airborne objects in the sky that he didn't see clearly at first, but became much more obvious during his second and third flights? Unfortunately, we may never know for sure. There weren't any cameras on board his plane, and no radar tracking him or the mysterious objects he saw. His sightings kicked off one of the most famous UFO scares in American history. People across the country were reporting similar sightings, and it seemed like the truth was finally coming out. That is, until Project Sign was created. Project Sign was a top-secret Air Force investigation that was created to look into reports of UFOs, and its findings were devastating. None of the cases it investigated contained any evidence of extraterrestrial activity. Of course, that didn't stop the media from continuing to report on UFO sightings. And the public's fascination with aliens has only grown since then. While there have been countless UFO sightings since Arnold's in 1947, none have been confirmed. And that includes the most recent ones. In June of 2021, a video released by the Pentagon showed a military pilot encountering a mysterious airborne object. The object appeared to move erratically through the air and defied the laws of physics, but the Pentagon later admitted that they couldn't explain the footage. Was it an alien UFO? Maybe was it something else? Maybe. Or was it simply a hoax? That's up to you to decide. So here's our question for you. Do you think Kenneth Arnold really saw aliens? Please comment yes or no to let us know your thoughts. While you're down there, please make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss next week's episode. Thank you for watching. I've been your host, Anonymous. If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to check out my podcast, where I interview top experts and authors from all over the world. New episodes are released every week, so please click the link in the description and subscribe.